Hello everyone, Nick here. Today we're going to do a deck profile for a very fun Vanguard format. If you read the description, then you already know. I'll be talking about my limited fight deck. Now, if you don't know what limited fight is, you can check out the G Station YouTube channel run by Can You Say G. He did a video that kind of explained it, but long story short, double R, rarity, and below is what you can use for deck building and trial deck cards as well. You can't use promos, and as I said before, double R's and below, so that means no triple R's and up, including the legendary idle rare cards. But anyway, the deck I'm building, or the deck I built, is Bermuda Triangle, and it's one of the clans that I primarily play, so it was the first deck I would look at to see if I can build a limited fight deck. And it's actually quite hard because if you think about it, a lot of the Bermuda Triangle boss cards, so to speak, are in the VR slot. They didn't really put a lot of the boss cards in the triple R slot. Surprisingly, you can't use triple R's in the deck anyway, but they don't even have a lot of grade 3 triple R's. So you have to look at the double R's and below, and then some of the double R cards were more for like Highlander support. So it was a little difficult. So I decided to kind of go through every single card, and I found one. And originally, people would look at it as a meme, but I took it as this could be something good. So the card in question for the grade 3s is, you guessed it, Trouble. Verdal. Impressive. This is one of there's only a few cards in Vanguard where you can play more than 4 copies. And this one you can play 16. So in my deck list, I play 16. Now, what this card do is that when it attacks, and if it's on V or R, you can reveal as many copies of these cards in your hand for it to gain 1,000 power until the end of each battle, pretty much, or until the end of that battle. So if you have one out, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have 5 of these in your hand, you attack, you just show them 5, then it's 17. So it doesn't seem that impressive at first, because first you got to get a bunch of these in your hand, and you notice there's no force marker icon or gift icon. So this is the only grade 3 in the deck, so you're not going to be using your imaginary gifts because you don't really need it per se. It would be nice. I tried finding ways, but then in general, you just want to have a bunch of these. You want to max it out because it also works when you're getting attacked as well. So this card is used defensively and offensively. And what's nice is when you are playing the mulligan, when you first start, because I'm going to show you the grade 2s and 1s, you're going to realize that mulliganing is important. If you open just one of these in your hand, you can just throw that back in the deck because you will for sure draw it. You will never miss your grade 3 unless you are incredibly unlucky. But then if you're drawing your 1s and 2s, then you might play a little normal, I suppose. But this is probably the highlight of the deck right here. 16 copies. For the grade 2 lineup, it actually looks very similar to the original Melody. You play 4 Lieselots. Lieselot is awesome because you can superior call this off the top of your deck. In general, it happens more often than not because you have 16 copies of this card. And what's cool is that if you play this if you're going second and you have this in your hand, you ride your grade 1, you can still call this as a grade 1. Use her effect and get lucky and superior call a copy of this from the top of your deck. And if you happen to have 2 or 3 in your hand already, it's like you are doing a Sonata attack, just a little weaker. But it is very cool. And then plus, if they were to try to kill this card, you can defensively use these as well, because when you get attacked, You show these first, and then it'll get the power. Then you can intercept or guard cards with your hand. So Lieselot is a must. 4 copies. And then I also play 4 copies of Mine. Pretty much, you want to use her to draw more of these. So, very good card. For the grade 1 lineup, you use 4 copies of Special Message Aurora. Just lets you draw. Always good. And then, this is a fun addition because I know that when this card was revealed, a lot of people didn't really care for it and didn't really think it was good because it kind of rewards bad deck building. You got this grade 1 card called Prominent Personality Terminer. I think that's how you pronounce it. What this card, it's a double R, so it does meet the conditions for limited fight. And it says, in your hand, you may remove this card and a card from your soul instead of 2 cards from your hand for the cards removed for G assist. So the deck tends to miss the grade 2 ride. If you have this in your hand and you can just G assist with losing this card and your starter, because you don't really need the soul at all, and the only counterblasting in the deck is Mine, so a lot of the resources is just there for you, so you don't really need the soul, you don't really need the counterblast. If someone tries to damage deny you, who cares? But the reason I use hers is because you only play 8 grade 2s, and you could finally have a reason to use this card. Finally, I use 2 of the Silent Ardor Sita. Pretty much, she allows your grade 3 Grizzly, this card, become a booster. So if you have your field like this, go like that, go like that, go like that. These can now boost. So these are 12k boosters, plus they'll all get the effect of revealing copies. So 2 copies of this. Now for the trigger lineup, you don't really have much to work with because V series don't have a lot of triggers. So I just play 4 crits, 4 heals, and 8 draws. The reason you want to go more for draws is because you want to draw as many of the grade 3s as you can. And in general, because the grade 3s in your hand can't really guard, you want to get as many cards as you can get into your hand. So drawing triggers is okay because they are going to be your main defensive pieces. Same with your grade 1s. Grade 2s doesn't really matter. So your crit triggers and your heal triggers, they are going to be, and your perfect guards are going to be your defensive plays there. And then just the starter, the starter. Now, the only card in the deck that's going to be expensive is the draw PGs. If you can't get those, then you can just use crit triggers or just use the crit triggers, and you have no choice on that. And then you can probably swap out these 4. You can probably do 4 like that for the rare Sentinel. But in general, you want to use the draw PGs. And then plus, they're going to get reprinted soon, so the draw PGs are a bit cheaper. So it shouldn't cost too much. I think the last I checked, the draw PGs were like $15, but it should go down even more. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up my video here. If you guys built a limited fight deck or think about building a limited fight deck, go ahead, throw it in the comment section. Tell me what you're planning to build. Tell me how you think this deck sucks, or tell me that, wow, this is so fantastic. That'll make my day. Like the video so we can get more people to see what limited fight is. Subscribe so you can get more content. Hit that bell to get notified when a new video is up. And I will go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.